Test your impressions. Hi, my name's Dave, and welcome to my daily journey through the Daily Stoic. 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hasselman. If you enjoy self-improvement, Stoic content, and things like that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, we're moving on to April 9th. Test your impressions. Quote, from the very beginning, make it your practice to say every harsh impression. You are an impression and not at all what you appear to be. Next, examine and test it by the rules you process. The first and greatest of which is whether it belongs to the things in our control or not in our control. And if the latter, be prepared to respond, it is nothing to me. End quote. EPICTETUS, Epicurean 1.5. In an overly qualified world of policies and processes, there are some are swinging back in the other direction. Bold leaders will trust their gut. A spiritual guru will say, it's more important to let your body guide you. A friend trying to help us with a difficult decision might ask, what feels right here? These approaches to decision-making contradict voluminous case studies in which people's instincts have led them right into trouble. Our senses are wrong all the time. As animals subjugated to the slow force of evolution, we've developed all sorts of heuristics, biases, emotional responses that may have worked well in the savannah, but are totally counterproductive in today's world. Part of Stoicism is cultivating the awareness that allows you to step back and analyze your own senses, question their accuracy, proceed only with the positive and constructive ones. Sure, it's tempting to throw discipline and order to the wind and go with what feels right. But if many of our youthful regrets are any indication, what feels right now doesn't always stand up over time. Hold your senses suspect. Again, trust, but always verify. Oh, that's a really interesting one today. Because it's so easy to let our impressions or those kind of like, I have to do what feels right. And it's, I like that last line too, what he's talking about. Like, if you go look back in your past kind of experiences, doing what feels right now may not be what's most productive for you or lead you to the best result later on, right? Like, you're not thinking you're not thinking what are the compounding effects. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For me, I believe life is a lot of cause and effect. You have a choice to do whatever you wish in life, but what are you willing to pay the consequences for those choices? And, recognizing, especially when it comes to our impressions and those kind of feelings, don't mean to disregard them completely, but recognizing that they're one piece of the information. Okay, why do I feel like this? Taking that time to analyze it, make sure, is this the right course? Or, because sometimes, I find for me, my ego, what feels right may not be the right thing to do. Like, it feels right to stay in bed when I don't want to get up in the morning, but, it's harder to get up and go do my little workout and make this video, and some days it becomes harder. Like today was kind of a bit of a hard day to do it. But, eventually I got it done. It felt right to stay in bed, but it didn't accomplish my goal of like, all right, doing a video a day, right? That's, sometimes the hardest things in life are like the goals we want to achieve. They're not going to be easy things. They're not always going to feel right. Sometimes we have to push ourselves outside our comfort zone, right? I don't know about you guys, but I feel that sometimes my ego wants me to stay in my comfortable little bubble and not grow because it's safe here. And it's safe and it's warm and it's comfortable like a warm bed, right? But I can't accomplish anything. I won't be able to get anywhere. I won't be able to achieve my dreams if I stay inside that bubble. Sometimes having to push that, recognizing that my instincts and my impressions is, okay, is this just a bias I have towards X, Y, and Z? Are these, I had to look up the word heuristics. I think, now I'm mispronouncing again, but recognizing, are these like like, just because I have this feeling, is this leading me in the right direction? One of the things I deal with, particularly with emotions, a practice that I've developed, especially when I'm feeling like overly anxious or even excited or any kind of really strong emotion, I'll close my eyes, take some deep breaths, and I'll start to feel the feelings in the body. I'll try to remove the word, especially if it's anxiety or fear or anything else, and be like, what is it feeling like in the body? And I focus on the feelings and sensations that are happening, right? Because that's the thing that's actually happening. I've just associated this word through past experiences that associate this feeling must mean this, because the brain wants to associate, oh, so that has to mean that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that in that particular scenario. It's just feelings. It's tightness in the chest. It's butterflies in the stomach. It's shaky, sweaty palms, rapidly beating chest. And when I start to bring my awareness into the feelings on my body, I start disassociating this word connection I've created to this body connection, and I start to recognize, like, okay, my body is reacting to stimuli in this environment. Okay, how does that feel in the body? And now I can look at it from that third perspective, right? Taking that zoom out, not looking at just the feeling, but looking at the whole kind of scenario and be able to make a more positive decision. Or in the case of when I do stand-up comedy, it's nerve-wracking getting on stage, but I really enjoy it. So, and I'll get really nervous beforehand, so I'll calm it back down, look at it from the third perspective, like, all right, I'm going to doing a thing that I love. Whether or not they laugh or not, I'm going to enjoy myself. And because I believe that I'm going to enjoy myself, a little acting tip or something I got from someone was like, what you're feeling, especially if you're a speaker, you're doing a speaking event or anything like that, or giving a presentation, how you're feeling on stage or as you're presenting projects out to the crowd, and they will reflect that back to you. So there are times, even when when I was dating and I was really nervous talking to a girl, I would call out, hey, I'm feeling really nervous now. Then it relieves her nervousness that she was feeling off me, all that body language signals I was giving off. Or if I know when I'm going on stage and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to have a good time. Even if none of my jokes don't land, I'm going to enjoy myself. And that body language associates out to the crowd. Using my impressions or my, of what could be versus what is, right? Like, oh, I have a feeling that X, Y, and Z will happen. But do you know that's going to happen that way, right? Like, do you have the evidence to back it up? I heard this kind of thing recently. I think it was like an Alex Hormozi short. He talks about how to build. You don't build confidence. Don't build confidence. You build evidence, and that evidence, the byproduct of that evidence, is confidence. So if you're doing everything I felt like I've gotten more confident in making these videos, but because it's the evidence of doing it every day and saying, hey, if I did it yesterday, then I can do it today. Like my little 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 boxing squats each leg every morning, right? First I wasn't really confident, but I'm like, all right, here's the evidence laid out. And I start to look at the facts on the ground and not discount my feelings, but recognize, all right, are these feelings in place with the actual facts of the situation? Yeah, I think that's kind of what I want to say there. Hopefully that makes sense. I would love to know, do you question your impressions, or you kind of, it also breaks our impulsivity, right? Do you feel especially with ADHD, I can be really impulsive with my decision making. And I've learned how to kind of pull back on that as well, of not really kind of going with that first impression, but pulling back. So how do you deal with those kind of gut feelings? How do you kind of manage it? I would love to know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out more daily Stoic videos, probably somewhere over here. And if you're not subscribed, I'd love a subscription so you can keep up with all the daily videos on my daily journey there. Hit that bell for, notifications and all that fun stuff. Thumbs up if you like the video. Thumbs up if you don't, Love the honesty. But with that, a happy Easter to everyone who celebrates Easter today. And I wish you, see you tomorrow, and I wish you a great, if not better day.